Good evening, everyone. It is Middle-Aged Gamer Guy here. How are you? Yes, it's back around. It's that same time. It is Tuesday night gaming chat. We are here discussing all the latest games that have come out in the last 7 days, plus all the latest news. And with me this week, my host, as always, is Mr. David Jones. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, mate. How you doing?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
So we're doing something a little bit different tonight. We haven't got a guest on the show.
Scared them all off.
We have scared them all off. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, we probably have. But we've got we've got a ton of stuff to talk about. In fact, do you know what? I need to change this, but I put this on the screen because I said to Dave yesterday, I think we've got 14 new games to discuss. And flipping out, it turns out it's 16, and I've actually got to update that so that I can put it on the screen to say 16 new games because it still said 14. But there you go. So we've got no guests this week because me and Dave are literally going to hammer through a ton of stuff this week. We've got 16 new games to talk about and 6 news stories. It has been a busy week considering last week we had loads of news stories and only 4 new games. So I think maybe game developers are like, get the games out, end of the month, get them out, end of the month, need to make some money. So might be the case. What you been playing, Dave? What you been up to?
Oh, I've been carrying on with Desperados 3. I'm on chapter 3 in that game now, so I'm mission 13 out of 16.
Yeah. Still
enjoying it. Very, very good game if you like that sort of, just little sort of strategy game. I find the levels quite good as well. It's forced me to remember that I've got to try and use like all the characters at the same time and all their abilities to get past certain situations. Otherwise, it can be absolute pain in the ass. But I dread to think how many times I've died in that game and pressed the quick load button. Got to be a number in the hundreds by now. But apart from that, been playing through Fall Guys Season 4, which is good fun.
Nice.
Been playing a few more user mods in Half-Life Alyx, a few more user campaigns. So some of those are pretty good, actually. I've played through one recently called Overcharged. It's just very well laid out, very well paced. Yeah, you can almost imagine it's been made by the actual devs. It just felt that good. Now I've got a few more lined up. One of which is sort of set to be a bit like BioShock, sort of set in the same world, and I brought in a lot of art and stuff from that. It looks quite cool. So I've got plenty of these to keep me going. Save me spending any money. Just keep playing these user campaigns for Alyx. Great fun.
Yes. Hello, Average. How you doing? Welcome to the chat. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, is there any particular games that obviously it's not one we're going to talk about this week, but we're definitely going to be talking about next week because it actually comes out tomorrow, is Outriders. Are you looking forward to that? I'm
going to give that a go. I was talking to my friends about it and we thought we'd give it a go in co-op. So I've got it set to download tomorrow on Game Pass, so I'll get started on it. Cause I think it's about an hour tutorial section you got to do before you can do co-op, so going to get that out of the way. Just jump into it for co-op. That's my plan.
Okay. So, an hour-long tutorial. I don't know whether I could.
It was the same with Dying Light. It's a co-op game, but you got an hour. You got to play on your own to get used to all the mechanics tutorial before you can do co-op. Again, a bit of a pain, but just get it done and out of the way, and then away you go.
And you see that Dying Light. I mean, we talked about this earlier in the year. That the fact that there was a couple of games that have just disappeared into the ether. One of them was Dying Light 2. And you see that they've actually started to make announcements that it is still being made and it is coming out at some point, which is good news for all the Dying Light fans.
Definitely, it's a very good game. I don't know if you've played the first one at all, but I'd recommend if you hadn't.
Some of it. I'm in the minority that I got bored of it.
Oh, really? I thoroughly enjoyed it. I was a bit iffy with it to begin with, if I'm being honest. I wasn't really getting into it, but once sort of got into the co-op and got a bit further through, so you got a bit more crafting, more weapons, more skills. I just found it got a lot better. Thoroughly enjoyed it, and pretty much played it as co-op as well. That was good.
I think that probably brings more enjoyment. I know there's a lot of people that love Dying Light. I know we had Brad on the show. He was banging on about that game for years. I know he's looking forward to the second one. Maybe I just didn't play it for long enough. I gave it a fair few hours and I just didn't grab me. But hey, that's what it is. That's what happens. Hello, Tunes. How you doing? Welcome to the show. Right, should we crack on with this? Should we try and...
we should, or we'll never get through, and will we?
We'll get through. We're going to attempt to get through 16 games tonight. So we might as well start with the second one. So some of these games, we have to say, some of these games are not technically new games. Some are games that have either been remastered or they have been brought out for other platforms. But we also have a handful of games that are new. But we are going to start with one which isn't new. And they've slowly been bringing all the Yakuza games to other platforms rather than PlayStation. And we know that obviously Yakuza 7 came out on nearly all the formats last autumn and was a big smash hit. One of the final games that hasn't hit Xbox and PC is Yakuza 6, Song of Life. So we are going to play the trailer for this. And what we do on the show is we show the trailer, we talk about the game, and then anyone who's in the chat, we want your opinions of what this would score in terms of, out of 10, what you think this game. Now, this could be based on your opinion or whatever, or what you think the reviewers might score. And then I piece together basically a score from all the different reviewers over the internet and give us an average score. So we'll do that shortly. So come and check out Yakuza 6, The Song of Life, which came out last Thursday on Xbox and PC. Here is the trailer.
あいつらを守れるなら俺は喜んで死んでやるさ。
There you go. So that's Yakuza Sing. Yakuza Sing? Sorry, Yakuza 6, The Song of Life. I knew there was like sing song in there somewhere. I don't know. Hello, Lou. Okay. Lou asked someone out and they said, I'll think about it. That's right. Hello, how you doing? Yes, lots of people tuning in. Good to see you. So we've talked about the Yakuza games before many a time, but this literally is the first time that this one has come to Xbox. Is this one that you've played, or is this one of the ones that you haven't played?
I haven't played any of the series.
Okay.
I've looked at them a number of times, never jumped into them. I was thinking since they're on Game Pass, I was debating where to actually try one of them out. But of course, now it's which one do you jump in at? Do you jump in at one? Or you jump in at Yakuza 0? Or could you just go straight into this one and enjoy it? I don't quite know where to start.
That's the problem now, because apart from the newest one, which is Yakuza 7, there's actually 7 Yakuza games on Game Pass, because you got 0 all the way through to 6. So it's kind of like, where do you start? But I guess, I don't know. It's a difficult one. But again, they're big on storytelling. The only difference between this and 7 is that this is pretty much straight on combat. 7 was turn-based combat, which they'd never done before. But yeah, crazy storylines, crazy mini games, loads of mad stuff, going to karaoke bars, looking after cats, random shit just happening. This one feels that it might have a slightly more serious tone to it, but we'll have to see. No guests today, because we've got to get through so much stuff we've got to get through today, Lou. Just me and Dave. So yeah, this one. What do we reckon? Luke, Average has already said he reckons this will get a 7 out of 10. What do other people think in the chat this would get out of 10? As I say, this came out on Thursday, just gone, and it's out for Xbox and PC. It's been out on PlayStation for donkey's years. Lou says he'd give it a 4. Dave, what do you reckon?
I'm going to guess an 8, because I think it's meant to be a good story to finish off the arc for this particular character who's in it.
Yeah. Okay. Have we got any other guesses? If anyone else wants to put a guess in, I'll literally give you a couple of seconds. Have a guess. See if you're right about Yakuza 6. I'm going 3, 2, 1. Right. Well, then, Dave, you're bang on the nose. Oh, Lou said 5. No, 4. He's changed his mind. He doesn't know. Kuda Boy says 8.5. Average says, even though I don't watch anime, this game looks fun. Lou's like 2. Whatnot. I see what he's doing. Well, he got a solid 8 out of 10. They said they've done a great job converting the game. And if you love the Yakuza games, it's definitely worth playing. It gets an 8 out of 10. Welcome, Kuda Boy. Good to see you. So, yeah, that's Yakuza 6, The Song of Life. It's been out for PlayStation, as I say, for donkey's years, but literally came out for PC and Xbox, and is free on Game Pass as of last Thursday. Now for something completely different. This is the one thing you are going to see. We have got so many different games. It's very bizarre. This one is no exception. I had not heard about this. They did bring out a demo for this next game a week ago, and it got absolutely slated by the critics. So the question is, does the finished game, which literally came out... Sorry, the demo came out 2 weeks ago. This game also came out last Thursday. This has come out for PS4, 5, PC, Xbox X, and Xbox One, and the Switch. And there's a bit of a musical game theme to it because it's based on the Balan musicals. But this is going to be Balan Wonderworld. I'm going to have to warn you now, folks. Get ready for the cringe-tastic music on this trailer. Here we go.
Welcome to this wonderful world of wonder. There are enchanting places and challenging spaces. You choose the way. To save the day. Find your courage. And discover that true happiness is an adventure. Balan Wonderworld.
So that was Balan Wonderworld. Jesus Christ, that song is all I'm going to say. Hello, Pixie. Welcome. Thank you for the raid. So there's a whole musical thing called Balan, and they've taken it and they've turned it into a game. It pretty much looks like your standard Mario kind of affair, like run around, grab stuff, do different things, jump through rings, blah, blah, blah. As I say, they brought a demo out and it got absolutely slated. And then the week after, they brought out the full game. Now, seeing that there was only a week, that makes me wonder whether it's that good. They've said the character customization is excellent because you've got over 200 different character styles that you can create, as you saw in the trailer. But they've said it's basically a very confusing game because, there's no real story to it, and the story's confusing enough. But it's just insane. It's really difficult to follow. Dave, what's your opinion of this? And you ever heard of this? Because this cropped up on me last Friday. I'd never heard of it.
I remember seeing it shown before in a couple of the PlayStation events probably a few months back. I just thought it looked a bit weird. I saw it then, definitely an odd one. I say something like this: stories probably doesn't matter a huge amount. Yeah, for some of these little 3D platformers. You're thinking the Mario games, they haven't got much of a story. It's just Princess Peach got kidnapped again. Go and banish through these levels and do this, that, and the other. So yeah, that might not matter too much. This one, it looks like it's got decent number of costumes your character can get in to do different things, which might help break things a bit. If it keeps throwing in new ideas, helps keep it interesting. But if you're saying that the demo was slated, then the full game's a week later, it doesn't really give them much time to pick up on any feedback and change the full release in any meaningful way. So it does make me a bit concerned that it's not going to be particularly good.
What do we think, chat? Drop it in the line. What do you think out of 10 this game scored? I say this came out Thursday last week. Hello to Demon Angel. Great to see you. Thanks for popping along. If you're lurking. Kuda says, I think my lunch is coming back up after watching that. He says 4 from me, but he reckons it will get a 6. So what do we reckon? Pop in the chat your scores. Dave, what do you think this got?
I'm going to guess a 7.
Okay, you're going for a 7. Have we got any more guesses in the chat? I don't know how far back we are, because sometimes it's like an 8 or 10 second delay. I don't know how long, so I always give a few seconds to wait, see if anyone else has any guess scores. Got to go 3, 2, 1. Well, it actually got a 6 out of 10. Sakuda got it right. They said it's perfectly fine. It's perfectly good, but it doesn't make a lot of sense. And it's okay. It's okay to try and play. It's nothing great. It's nothing spectacular. Obviously, it's a full price game. You can't get it free anywhere at the moment. But it might be worth checking when it gets out cheaper. So that is Balan Wonderworld, which is out on PS4, 5, PC, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, and Switch. And that got a 6 out of 10. Hello, Luke. Luke, I've got to show you that right now. Luke-a-lele. Great to see you. Thank you for tuning on from Berserk's Discord. Appreciate that. It's good to see people from the community coming in and watching the chat show. So thank you very much. We're going to go for another game. Again, complete different opposite time of game. Again, slight platformer, but very different. This one, I think, again, kind of came out of nowhere, was getting a lot of indie buzz about this. This is a game that's come out for all the Xboxes, all the PlayStations, and PC. This came out, when did this go? Also last Thursday. This is a game which can be played as co-op. And one of the advantages is if you've got a friend, you can play it online. Only one of you has to buy a copy of the game, and then the other person can play it for free, which I think is a fantastic thing. So it saves 2 of you having to buy this game. This is, funny enough, It Takes Two. We're going to play the trailer, then let us know your thoughts in the chat and have a guess at what this scored when it was reviewed this week. Here we go.
How comes you get all the cool gadgets?
I'm cooler than you, Cody.
There you go. Now, don't let the fact that it's from EA put you off, because it's an EA original, and actually some of the EA originals have been very good. Another good co-op game that came out a couple of years ago was No Way Out, which was excellent. This falls in the same thing, that is a co-op game, ideally. But the fact is, it's not just any old type of platformer. There is so many different types of games thrown into this, and it never repeats itself. And just when you think you've got near to the end of the game, or you're going to go, oh, I'm a little bit tired of this section, it throws something completely bizarre at you, like a Street Fighter style setup where you're attacking a squirrel on a magic carpet. Like, it's totally random. There's all these different mini games. They never repeat themselves. It keeps it entertaining. Think of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. That's the kind of format that you're going through there. Hello to M. Wonderly. Great to see you. Thank you for the follow. And also to Lukalele for the follow. Greatly appreciated. Thank you both. Dave, this has been getting a lot of, you've seen in the trailer, lots of people bigging this up. Do you think this is possibly going to be one of the best games of this month?
It could well be, mate. It looks good. It's a bit different as well since it's a pure co-op game. You mentioned before about A Way Out. This is by the same developers.
Yes.
So they've had the practice with that one, so they know what they're doing with this one. So I reckon it'll be good. It's what I think I'll get around to playing at some point. I tried a bit of A Way Out, and that was good fun.
Yeah.
Didn't get around to completing it, but I think I played about 3-4 levels of it, and it was pretty good fun. So yeah, looking at this one, looks cool. And if you're saying they keep throwing new ideas in, it'll hopefully just help get people to keep coming back, playing through it.
What do we reckon in the chat? The people think this is going to be their kind of game. Let us know scores. Loads of, I'm not going to lie, the scores this week, normally I kind of give it away. Scores are so varied this week with all these games. I'm going to say one thing. There is nothing that is dreadful this week out of the 16 games that we're talking about. But I can say that the scores go from average to amazing. So there you go. So Dave, what do you reckon this has got out of 10?
I'm going to guess an 8 for this one. It looks like it's a good solid co-op game.
Okay. Anybody else in the chat want to hazard a guess at what this has got from all the reviewers? As I say, I take the average review scores from all the different reviews. Sometimes that's more difficult than it sounds, and sometimes it's easy because there's tons of reviews on the internet. But I'll wait a few more seconds. It's going to be one of them where we're just going to get no scores in the chat. I'm just going to let you guess it. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so it gets a 9 out of 10.
Wow.
They're really, really impressed with this. Nearly everyone. I don't think I saw any scores lower than an 8, and most of them were 9s.
Definitely worth a look then.
It's definitely worth a look, and I wouldn't be surprised because A Way Out is now on EA Play or EA Access or what the hell it's called these days. But I think that will appear, and then if you've got Game Pass, you'll end up getting that for free as well. So I wouldn't be surprised. Give it a year, and this game will be on there, I would have thought. But it's definitely, if you like the look of it, go out and buy it. You definitely won't be disappointed. 9 out of 10. That is It Takes Two, which came out last Thursday. I'd say for PlayStation 4, 5, all the Xboxes, and PC. Hello, Joron. How you doing? Joron's confused because there's only 2 of us. Yes, we have no guest this week because we have so much to talk about. There's that much to talk about. We have no guest. We will have a guest back next week. Unfortunately, we had a guest. They couldn't make it, and it was too late in the day to bring someone else in. So you've just stuck with me and Dave, Joron. So there you go. Little bit of news now. Going to talk about some stuff. So this kind of happened just as we were closing last week's show. We talked about the whole Microsoft thing. What are they going to buy next? What are they going to do? And there was rumors going around that Discord is looking for potential buyers. Now, Discord had received offers from Epic Games and Amazon, who obviously own Twitch, to buy the platform and take it over. However, Discord itself actually approached Microsoft, and they're in the process of talking about a deal which will cost £10 billion, which is insane. Now, for those who are not familiar with Discord, believe it or not, before I even started streaming 6 months ago, I had no idea what it was. And now I use it every day. But it's basically a platform that you can chat to people on through gaming. It's very good at gaming. But the best bit about it is you can do also video chat and also voice chat. And on some of the streams, I use voice chat when we get people on the VIP stream. So I can have 20 people on the stream without being linked to PlayStation or Xbox or whatever. So it works really well. Apparently, Microsoft, it was just a bit of a rumor last week. They're now closing the deal down in the last couple of days. So if this deal goes through, Discord could potentially take over from Xbox Party Chat, which, let's face it, is not a bad thing because Discord chat works so much better. I'm not going to lie. Dave, your thoughts on this? Because I don't think you've ever used Discord, have you?
No, I've never had the call to do it. As you say, you never did until you started streaming. So sometimes these bits of technology are out there, you never go near them. But it sounds interesting. It's probably a good purchase for Microsoft because it's going to come with a huge user base already, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they can bring it in, bring all these users in, integrate them into the platform. But I suppose the only thing to worry existing users is if Microsoft tries to change too much. I think they've messed around with stuff they brought in the past. So it's always a risk, but hopefully they'll look at it, see it works well as it is, and do the lightest touch possible.
Yeah. We can only keep our fingers crossed. I say we don't know if the deal's going to go through, but it's interesting that Discord had other offers, but they approached Microsoft, which says to me that they want them to do it. The other interesting thing is Xbox is probably going to get even more confusing. As Microsoft have announced, there was this whole thing about the fact they're going to get rid of Xbox Live or Xbox Live Gold, but now apparently they're not. They're now going to change the base thing where you can basically talk to people and play multiplayer games, and that's now going to be called Xbox Network. So in a couple of months' time, it's all going to change, and basically you're very basic. So if you want to play a multiplayer game or you want to speak to someone on chat, it's going to be called Xbox Network. However, this really gets confusing, you can subscribe to Xbox Live Gold, which now just gives you a few features like the fact that you can get some games at a slight discount, and you'll get up to 4 free games free a month to keep for life. But then you've also got Game Pass Ultimate, which basically includes that, Xbox Network, EA, and probably a load of other things and all the stuff, and a whole selection of games. So to make it really easy, they've made it more complicated by adding more names to it. Do you think they've lost the plot, Dave?
Oh, you got to imagine someone in the marketing department is just doing this to try and earn their monthly bonus, aren't they? I know you get this data. They keep chopping and changing names all over the shop. It's like EA keep changing their one minute it's EA Origin, then it's EA Play. Lose track of it.
Well, is it EA Play now? Because it was EA Origins, you're right. Then wasn't it EA Access? Or is EA Access the one it is now? Does anybody
I think you're
know?
right. I think it was Access, then it's gone to Play, and that's what it is at the moment. Until they did change it again at some point down the road. Yeah,
just cool. Just put all EA games here. They just call it that. That'd be fine. But there you go. It's really confusing. Joran says, I chat with Joran every day on Discord. In other words, he has conversations with himself. That's good. I'm not sure that's a question, Joran, as well. He says, I have a question for Dave. What a cool door behind him. I think that's
I'm glad he likes it. It's an old shitty door that's been in the house since we moved in. I'd love to change it. I've never done it.
Yeah. I don't think Joran wants you to change it. But I would say that's more of a statement than a question, Joran. But
that's nice,
it's noted anyway. Thank you for your support. Even though it can be quite weird sometimes. Right, let's move on to some more games. Now, this is a first for us. We're going to talk about a game that is not on any platform. It's on a mobile phone. We have never talked about it.
It's crap. Skip over it. Next one.
Yeah, all right, okay. Well, we don't talk about games, but I think it's worth a mention. So we've talked about a lot of Crash Bandicoot games, and obviously Crash Bandicoot got upgraded to next gen literally a couple of weeks ago. But here's a first. They have brought out a Crash Bandicoot game for your mobile phones. Beware the trailer, which is deceptive because most of the footage, as it states at the beginning, is not from the actual game, as you can imagine. But this is the trailer for Crash Bandicoot on the Run. We'll play that. Let us know what you think in the chat and see if you can guess what this scored out. This also came out last Thursday. Let's check out the trailer. Here we go.
Pack it in, let me begin. I'm the wind, battle me, that's a sin. I won't ever slack up, punk you better back up. Try and play the role and you're the whole crew will act up. Get up, stand up, come on, put your hands up if you got the feeling. Jump across the ceiling, monsters of funk, someone's fucking jumping. It's on the heads of my mom and my pop. I came to get down. I came to jump. Everybody jump.
Download the new mobile game now.
There you go. That is Crash Bandicoot finally on mobile phone. Woo! Which basically looks exactly the same as Maze Runner and all the other 1,000 games that's basically just emulated. The only difference is you got Crash Bandicoot in it. Have you played things like Maze Runner and all the other stuff?
Oh, my daughter plays Dash Tag on her iPad, which is the same thing. So you say Crash is just a reskin of anything like that.
Right.
But just like that one, this one's going to have all those shitty currencies, microtransactions, all that usual bollocks in. So I just think it's a load of shit. Wouldn't go near it.
Okay. I mean, Kuda said, what a waste of technology. Hello, Mia. Hello, Discord. I like that. Again, at least he's consistent. Hello, Knobhead. And hello, Dave.
Thinks highly of you, doesn't he?
Yeah, he loves me, really. He doesn't. He can't stand me. So there you go. No guest today, Mia. You're about the 7th person who's asked that. No guest today. We've got a lot to get through, but there you go. So yeah, what do we reckon that Crash Bandicoot on the run on your mobile phone got? Drop a line in the chat. Let's get some scores out of 10. I think you're going to be slightly surprised by the score, but as Dave says, yes, they're in-app purchases, but they say they are not necessary. But I wouldn't be surprised that you need to do them if you want to get further ahead in the game. What do we reckon, Dave? What you reckon this is going to be a piece of shit? What score do you reckon?
Oh, I'd love it to be a 1 or something like that, but it's probably going to be like a 7. I'm going to guess a 7. Let's see.
You're going to guess a 7. Okay. Kuda says, who left you in the lurch so we can spam them? We're not doing that because bless them. It's not their fault why they had to cancel. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not. If they just cancelled, I probably would have slagged them off to high hell on the show, but it wasn't their fault. So do not worry about that, Kuda. But there you go. Right. Well, I can tell you, Dave, it got a 7 out of 10.
Still too high, that is. That sort of thing.
It got a 7 out of 10 for a mobile game of Crash Bandicoot. If you love Crash Bandicoot, you might want to get it. I ain't going to bother with it, but it's there on all mobile devices, iPads, and bits of technology in the interweb as of last Thursday. So there you go, folks. That's Crash Bandicoot on the run. Another game that literally only is an old game that got revamped, that came out last summer and has now got revamped again, ready for PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X, and coming to Switch. Again, something a bit different. We are going to talk about Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. This basically combines all the best bits of the first 2 Pro Skater games, which a lot of the fans of this franchise say are the best games. And they're now bringing them to the Series X and S, Nintendo Switch, and PlayStation 5. So let's check out the trailer. Let us know what you think in the comments. And have a guess what you think this got out of 10. This came out last Friday. Let's check this out.
I see the visual approaching. Let's show the world that we only got people on the floor. Give the world a show. Get up out your seats. Lose control. People on the floor. Give the world a show. Get up out your seats. Lose control. You feel how we feeling? Then give me a. You feel how we feeling? Then give me a.
So you go. That is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. But this is the second time it's been remastered in less than 6 months. Because obviously it came out for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. And now it's out for the Switch, PS5, and the other Xboxes. Sammy says, I'd rather have the new Skate that comes out. I have to say that does look really good. I've seen footage from that. It looks really good. Hi, Sammy, by the way. Hope you're well. Kuda says he's got a skateboard signed by Tony, which is really cool.
Cool.
It's going to be worth something at some point, I would have thought. These aren't games that I'm that enthusiastic about, but I have, since this came out last summer, I have seen other people streaming it, and it looks like quite good fun. Something you can just pick up and have a blast around on. Have you ever played any of these games, Dave?
I'm trying to remember where I had picked one of them up years ago. I might well have done. I got some memory of playing one of them. Probably might have played it on the PC, but I never got into it. I was never really quite into sort of just arcadey version of skateboarding where you're sort of chasing the skill chain and the high scores. Yeah. As like Sammy mentioned about the skate, I preferred the skate games.
Yeah.
I can't say I'm particularly good at them, but I really enjoyed the more realistic feel of those. They were good fun. So I'd give it the skate game a go. And if these, pops up at like a decent price in a sale, I'd consider having a look because they do look good games. Graphics look really nice, and they do look fun when you watch the trailer.
Yeah. I mean, they've said they've done a great job. I mean, everyone said they did a great job with it when it came out last summer. They've pretty much done the same again. There's a ton of extra bits and pieces in there. And they said it's a shame because as the Tony Hawk franchise went on, I think it was noticed that the games actually started to get worse. And I think
there's some dreadful ones.
There's the dreadful ones. And I think the lowest point was Pro Skater 5, which I think was 2015. And they said that was one of the worst ones in the series. But these two were quite saving grace. Even if it has got Jack Black whizzing around in a golf cart trying to run you over in the second one, in one of the courses. What do you reckon? I mean, this got high. I mean, I'm not trying to give anything away, but this got high scores when it came out last summer. What do you reckon this has got for these versions and the Switch?
I think it's probably got a 9 for these.
Okay. What do we think, chat? Have a guess. We've been lacking on the scores in the chat so far this evening. We've only had a few, so do indulge. Just chuck some scores in the chat. What do you think that Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, the 29th edition, might have got? Discord's lurking. That just shows you he's bugging off. Sammy says a 7.35. God damn, that's accurate. But I like that. Thank you, Sammy. Anyone else want to have a guess before we reveal the score? 3, 2, 1. No. Okay. We are going for, believe it or not, Dave, you've hit the nail on the head again. 9 out of 10. That's our second game to get a 9 out of 10. I don't think we've ever had 2 9 out of 10s on a show so far, ever on this show. I know, Sammy, sorry. 7's good. 7's good, but it was a 9. It was a 9. So that comes highly recommended, folks, if you've got it. I think the only thing that is a bit confusing about it, and the only reason it didn't get like a solid 10 is if you bought the versions that came out last year and you got the digital copy, you do have to pay about the equivalent of $10 to transfer it over to this version. Whereas if you buy this version, you can play it on the older consoles anyway. But if you bought the disc version last summer, you're pretty much fucked because you're going to have to buy.
Which is really shitty when they do stuff like that because we've seen plenty of other people just chuck things out. It's a grey for free, but people are Activision.
And to me, a little bit of it is like you knew the next gens were coming out. You brought this out last summer. Why didn't you just wait a few more months? I'm a little bit, and I said if they hadn't done that, it would have got a solid 10 out of 10. I don't think we've ever had a 10 on the show, but yeah, it's not great. 9 out of 10. If you love this sort of thing, go out and get it. It came out last Friday. As I say, the PS4 and the Xbox One versions came out last summer, but this is for PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and on the Nintendo Switch. Right. Onto another completely different scenario of game. More of a strategy game. This is the first of 2 games that I think are very similar in what we're going to be talking about. This came out also last Friday. Hello, Koo. How you doing? Our guest from last week. How are you, fella? Good to see you. this is a strategy game which is out on PS4 and 5, all the Xboxes and PC. This is a strategy game set out in space where you have to basically build a space station and keep all the alien people happy. Here we go. This is Spacebase. This is going to be really difficult. Spacebase Startopia. Let's check out the trailer. Let us know what you think in the chat and drop your scores in, what you think this got out of 10. Here we go.
Commander, welcome to Spacebase Startopia. Our 3 unique decks leave nothing to be desired for well-traveled space captains of any species. What are you waiting for, Commander? Spacebase Startopia is waiting for you.
There we go. That is Spacebase. It's so difficult to say. Spacebase Startopia. Jesus.
Say it 3 times fast.
Spacebase Startopia. Spacebase Startopia. Spacebase Startopia.
Oh,
I think I said Tartopia at the end. I don't know. It's close. So you get the idea. It's a strategy building game where you have a space station, you build facilities, you build crops, you can kill crops. You basically got to feed all the different aliens that come and visit. You also got to entertain them. You can build discos. You can build theme park rides, and that's the general gist of it. Again, we've seen a lot of different sort of games that do this. Is this something that you would give a whirl?
Probably not this particular one. I like a decent RTS game. But this one just looks a bit odd really. When I tried to first start, it looked like you just have to build a nightclub basically to give all the aliens inside. Then it starts bringing in all these other little bits and pieces, doesn't it? So as you say, feed the aliens, create life, destroy it, and it looks like there's a bit of the sort of classic RTS stuff in there just towards the end. It looked like some battles. So it's got an interesting mix of stuff in, but I can't quite say the whole of it really appealed to me.
Yeah, I personally, it's not something that grabbed me. It looks okay. I think the problem is there's loads of these games about, and this doesn't really offer anything that new from the looks of things. So I'm not sure whether it would be something I would try. Let us know in the chat what you think of this. Welcome back, Mia. Drop in the chat what you think this got out of 10 for the scores. I'm reading the conversation between Sammy and Coots going, people are having weird dreams. Especially with listening to these two-way chats. Anyway, okay. But yeah, so let us know what you think of this game. Dave, take a stab at what this got out of 10.
I'll guess a 6.
Jesus. Right. Koo says 7. Hello, Lady Red. Welcome. Thank you for lurking. Appreciate you being here. Koo says 7. You said 6. Any other guesses? Anyone else want to guess what Spacebase Startopia? I said it that time. Got. As I say, this came out Friday last week. I'm going to wait 5 more seconds and then I'm going to go give you the score. But I have to say, if no other scores, it's almost like you somehow sneakily read my notes, Dave. Because yet again, you got it right because it was a 6 out of 10.
I just good at guessing, mate.
Yeah, I think you've only got one wrong so far today, haven't you? I think you've pretty much got all the others pretty much bang on. So yeah, a 6 out of 10. They said it's okay. The menus can be a bit clunky and confusing. It's not that great. Doesn't really offer anything that much new. But if you like the kind of those sort of sim games, then this might be one for you. So give it a try. Now, funnily enough, our next game. Now, I would have gone into a news story, but I want to show this next game because we have another simulation game out. This actually came out today. Is only out on PC. Now, this one looks more interesting to me. If you ever wanted to be a Bond villain, this is maybe possibly the game for you. This is Evil Genius 2. We're going to play the trailer. Let us know your thoughts in the chat, and we'll talk about the game after the trailer. Here we go.
Evil never sleeps.
Silence kills. Get this done now.
Kill them!
Time to make the world shine.
There you go. Evil Genius 2. If you ever wanted to be a Bond villain or a bad guy, now's the time to do it. You get to basically build a lair on a choice of 3 deserted islands. Basically, start world domination. Start building that nuclear missile that you can threaten the world for billions of dollars. Make special ray guns. Make special traps. And then obviously, every so often, you get infiltrated by a spy, and the idea is to catch them. You've also got a load of minions working for you who are generally thick as pig shit, and you have to deal with them. So if they cock up, you punish them. If they do well, you reward them to basically make everything keep running. So again, very similar style of game, but from a different angle, this one, Dave. What are your thoughts on this one?
Well, I thought it looked better than the previous one. Looks like it's just got the one basic idea instead of like 3 ideas. The other one has it. So you got the one idea. It's just, and it looks like it's doing it well. I like the graphical style. I like the sort of humour that was there in the trailer. It'd be good fun setting out those cool traps. Like I like the little shark tank that suddenly popped up and the guy fell in. So it'd be quite cool because I think we probably watched some like the old Austin Powers or some of the earlier Bond films. You remember all the classic bases? It'd be quite cool to build one of those and then kill Bond when he comes and tries to stop you. Yeah. So yeah, I think this one looks good.
One of the islands reminded me of Tony Stark's house. It had the thing out on the island from the first couple of Iron Man films. Look familiar. And some of the characters look blatantly, like you said about the whole Austin Powers thing. There's some stuff there, but obviously, like even the guy that looks like Blofeld, it's so clear that they've just robbed some stuff from that. But what do we reckon this got, chat? Let us know. What do you reckon? Is this the sort of game that you'd want to play? Drop us the scores, what you think this got. Dave, what do you think this? Do you think this did better than Spacebase Startopia, or do you think this did worse, or do you think it did about the same?
Oh, I'd hope it did better. It looked the better game on the trailer. That trailer sold me more to that game than the previous one. So I'll guess an 8 for this one. Okay, cool. I didn't even know. Obviously, this is a sequel. I've never played the first one. I've never come across the first one, to be honest. So I don't know what it's like. Q's going for a 6. You're going for an 8. I mean, did you even know there was a first one? Or is this the... Oh, I remember hearing about it a long time ago, but I think that was quite an old game now.
Right, okay. So, Erm's going to give it a 5 out of 10. Okay. I can reveal the scores are got exactly the same as the game before it, Spacebase Startopia. It got a 6. They said it's a nice premise. The map is clunky as fuck to use in the terms of the way it works, and it does really drag the game down, unfortunately. It's not as smooth as something like 2 Point Hospital where you can just clunk, click, and drop it. it makes the game rather tedious. And generally, the feeling of most reviewers was, it says there are 4 very distinct campaigns, but they said once you've got through one, you probably will not want to bother with the others. It's a perfectly okay game. So they gave it a 6 out of 10. Hello, 89 Alan. We are talking about different games. This game we were just talking about was Evil Genius 2 that came out today on PC. It literally gets a 6 out of 10. There you go. Welcome to the chat. We're going to talk about some more news. Obviously, we talked about a couple of weeks ago the fact that a new Switch, Nintendo Switch, has been announced. We haven't got a proper name for it. Everyone's just kind of nicknaming it the Switch Pro, whether it's going to be called that or not. But they have confirmed a couple of things in the last week. The fact that it will be out for holidays 2021, so sometime around about November, December, it will be out, ready for Christmas. The fact that it will be able to do 4K graphics, and the fact that the Nevada, I've got that right, NVIDIA chipset is going to be a component of the new Switch. The only thing they have said is the price difference. Seeing that a Switch is roughly in America around about $300 at the moment for the full Switch, they reckon this one is either going to be between $50 and $100 more. But that's all we know. That's all that's come out so far. Nintendo are keeping quite stum on a lot of stuff. Dave, are you excited for this new version of the Switch, or are you just kind of like, meh?
I'm not hugely fussed about it. It'll be interesting to see, what the actual difference is between this one and the current one. Power-wise, spec-wise, is it really going to be much of an upgrade? I'd hope so, but then is it going to be enough of an upgrade to tempt people who've already got a Switch to move up to this one? Considering the Switch games aren't always the most technically demanding anyway, the current Switch runs them beautifully.
Yeah,
Stuff like Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, Animal Crossing, they all run perfectly fine on that one. Yeah. So unless they've got some stuff that's really going to take extra advantage of the new hardware and really look a hell of a lot better than on the current one, I can't see many people, going for that one if they've already got a Switch. For people who are going to be new to the console, might as well go for this Pro one if it's the best one. But we're just going to have to wait and see.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't got a Switch. As I said, the missus has got a Switch. She won't bother getting a new one because she only got hers last year. Or was it the year before? I've actually lost track now when she actually got it because, lockdown and all that shit. A year's gone by. I don't even know what's happened. But yeah, so we'll have to see. I'm sure we'll get more information as we go. And as we know, we are due another Nintendo Direct event sometime later in the year. And I wouldn't be surprised that they announce it at that. And I would have thought that would be sometime later in the summer that we'll probably get more info. So we'll see. We'll see. If we get any more news on what the next Nintendo Switch will be like, we will let you guys and girls know. Right, moving on to some more games. Another 3 games we're going to talk about. Again, very different ones. This is a much-loved franchise. It's not something I've got into. Now, I know Discord, who is on the channel, loves these games, has played a lot of them. We're talking about the Kingdom Hearts franchise. And as of today, the Kingdom Hearts franchise is available on PC. However, it has caused a bit of ruckus because it's only available on the Epic Games Store. And a lot of fans are not very happy with that. We're going to play the trailer and we'll show you what this compilation compiles of. Oh, there's Foxy. There you go. Look, fans are in tonight, Dave. Hi, Dave.
Thank you very much.
Oh, look at that. Bit of quality. Hello, Foxy. How you doing? So let's play the trailer for this and then we'll discuss these games and whether we think this is a good bundle and why is it only available on Epic's Game Store. So this is going to be Kingdom Hearts franchise series, apparently. That's what they're calling it. Here we go. Here's the trailer. Let us know your thoughts in the chat. There you go. So that's Kingdom Hearts series. Lady Red says absolutely adores Kingdom Hearts. So there you go. I know there's a couple of fans that watch this show that do play a lot of Kingdom. I have never played any of the games, I'll be totally honest. But there's a compilation there, and something I have to explain. Anyone who's not familiar with Kingdom Hearts, they do keep re-releasing versions. So as you saw, there's like you get version Kingdom Hearts 1.8 and 1.5, or Kingdom Hearts 2.5. But it basically means they've just chucked in all the content. The other thing that they've added, which is quite new to it, so you've technically got the 3 main games there, but also, which came out last year, and I'm sure we talked about this on the show, is the rhythm action game that you get chucked in as well, where it's not your typical Kingdom Hearts game, but it's a bit like, think like Guitar Hero, but with all the Disney songs. That's pretty much what you're getting chucked in as well. Now, I'm going to say this now. We can't give you any review scores. This came out today. I could not find any review scores at the time that we were putting the show together. There might be some out now because I try and finish everything off by 6 o'clock, 2 or 3 hours before the show. See, Lady Red Side, I played almost all of them, and you were most disappointed with Kingdom Hearts 3. That's interesting. What was disappointing about the third one? Please do tell us. Foxy said it got recommended to me a few years ago by a mate of mine. Fell in love with all the games. Dave, have you ever played any of these?
No, never got into them at all. I was looking at Kingdom Hearts 3 that came out because that I thought it looked quite cool. I was about to get it and play it with my daughter, but we haven't got around to it yet. But I think they're also on Game Pass, aren't they?
They are.
So I might have a look at perhaps picking one of them up on there and having a look, because we both like watching the Disney stuff. So I thought it might be something we could just play together.
I think there's so many different things that they're taking from the different Disney cartoons and from the different films that I've seen. So much stuff, and even films that you might have forgotten. There's that one, there's so much stuff. It's crazy. I mean, Lady Red said it had to wait for a long time and it ended up being so short, and Easy was a rush story. That's a shame to hear. So the third one's probably not the most popular in the series. Feels like that's a common trope in many games nowadays, though, sadly enough. And it is true with some games. They do rush them and they end up being a lot shorter. I think for anyone who's a massive Disney fan, they would love this. This has always intrigued me, this series of games. I'm not going to lie. They always look really interesting. I've just never got around to playing them. But for some reason, they decided to only go with Epic Games Store. And there's a lot of fans that are up in uproar. I don't know whether there's just because people just not fans of Epic Games Store. I don't know. I don't get involved with the whole PC, Steam versus Epic versus whatever. But have you got any ins or outs on why that might have pissed people off, Dave?
I think a lot of people get pissed off with Epic because they just keep flashing the money around. They just keep buying all these exclusives for their storefront, whereas a lot of people just are of the opinion that when the game comes out, it should just be available on any of the storefronts. Then you just pick from which is ever your favourite one, buy it from there, and off you go. But it just means you get stuck with Epic. You got to buy it from there. Right. I think they've improved their store from when it first came out. But initially, when it first arrived on PC and they were buying the exclusives, their store was quite far behind, like Steam, in what it offered. You didn't have cloud saves and things like that to begin with. It's taken it quite a while to catch up. So that was one of the initial points of contention with a lot of PC players. You had to buy it from this shitty place.
I mean, Foxy's just, to me, Foxy's kind of summed it up there. It's Epic Games. It's just another game store. Fucking, if you want it, go and buy it. Here we go. But I can see why. Lady Red said Epic Store combined with Origins crash my PC. So mate, that's the thing. Maybe, as you say, it's not as easy to use as Steam, causes problems. So maybe that's the thing. But then if you want the game, you're just going to go out and get it. Foxy says people are just biased for no reason at all.
Yeah, it's like some people prefer Xbox to PlayStation. It's that sort of thinking. You like this, hate the other one, just going to slag it off regardless. Yeah, you do get a lot of that.
Just like my opinions of Stadia.
Yours and everyone else's, mate.
There you go. Okay, folks, so we can't give you a score on that, but if you love the Kingdom Hearts games and you've got a PC and you want to play them again, there's 4 games in that package. Or you've never played them and you want to get around to them, you can get them on other platforms, but it came out on PC today. Do go check out reviews when they come out, though. I can't say whether it's good conversions or bad. So there you go. There you go. Right. Another absolutely beloved game. I played this one at a show 5 years ago, bought it immediately, and then I brought a second one out, and we'd even streamed this on the show. But literally last Tuesday, and I was hoping to talk about this on the show last week, but we didn't get round to it. And even Tunes said to me, I can't believe you're not talking about this game. But the reviews didn't come out until a couple of days after. And that is the new version of Overcooked, which is the all-you-can-eat version, which has come out for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S and X, Nintendo Switch, and PC. This is a version that encompasses both Overcooked games, plus all the DLCs, and a brand new 7-level DLC that you cannot get on any other platforms. You can only get it with this edition. So let's check out this trailer of this much-loved game with this new version. This is Overcooked All-You-Can-Eat edition. Let us know what you think in the chat while we play the trailer.
Rated E for everyone.
There you go. That's Overcooked All You Can Eat. As I say, includes the first two games, plus all the DLCs, plus a brand new DLC. And it even announced on that trailer there is even more updates coming out for that later this year. I absolutely adore these games. They are amazingly infuriating, but so much fun. You and me have played the first one to death, haven't we, Dave?
Oh, we have, mate. It was absolutely brilliant fun as well. We've done it just 2 players, then we've had 3 or 4 players in as well, haven't we? Just doing local co-op. Back when we could actually get together in the same place. Right. When you can do that with that game, it's just brilliant fun. Fantastic. I haven't played the second one, though. Is that as good?
The second one, I think, is just as good. The added bonuses you can now, with the second one, you could do online play. And when we streamed it, I think it was before Christmas on this channel, we streamed it. I had people joining me in the game. And that's just, I mean, especially this time with what's going on. But you can still do the co-op. And some of the levels are just insane. There's one that stands out where you start in a hot air balloon where it's windy, so everything starts to move, a bit like the ship one.
Oh, yeah.
But then the balloon catches fire and bits start to fall away. And then you end up crash landing. And for the last bit, everything's scattered everywhere. So you've got to try and go and find the bits. So it's almost like they've done 3 levels in one level. It's absolutely insane. But it's so much fun. So I would have thought they've done a cracking job with this. Anyone who's not played it, please do go and try this. Foxy says, seen the gameplay of this, never really enticed me, but I'm certain fans of this kind of stuff will like it. I absolutely adore this. I know this isn't going to be everyone's cup of tea. Dave, what do you reckon this will get?
Oh, I'm going to guess 8.
Okay, what do we reckon in the chat? Let us know what you think the scores might be in the chat. As I say, it's come out for, let's look at my notes. It came out Tuesday last week, so exactly while we were doing this talk show last week, for PS5, Xbox Series S and X, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Ironically, you still can get the first 2 games on all those platforms as well. Dave, you said an 8 out of 10, did you?
I did.
Foxy says he'll go with an 8 as well, or 8.5. You're both bang on the money, as it got an 8 out of 10. They say it's perfectly brilliant. If you haven't got them before, go get it. If you've always wanted to get it. And for the fact you get an added bonus free DLC with 7 extra levels that you can't get on the other games, it's a bonus. So it's great.
Sweet.
Great for playing. So there you go. Our next game, going a bit more retro. Platformers. This one may ring some bells or ring some rings. You'll see what I mean when you hear the sound effects in this game. This was a game that also came out a bit like... what was the other game that came out last Friday? Oh, Tont Hawks Pro Skater. This came out the same day as that on Friday the 26th. This is out for Switch, all the Xboxes, all the PlayStations, PC, and Stadia. This is a platform game, bit retro, called Kaze and the Wild Masks. Here we go with the trailer. Let us know your thoughts and let us know what the sound effects remind you of when we play this in the chat. Here we go.
Rated E for everyone.
So there we go. That is Kaze and the Wild Masks. Now, the first thing I'm going to say, obviously, I like the fact that Lady Red. So the first thing was like, Bunny! That's quite funny. When I don't know if anyone else was thinking this, when that trailer started, when you actually saw gameplay footage, not the kid sitting on the sofa, just went, it's fucking Sonic the Hedgehog. Because even the sound effects sounded very similar. Collecting the diamonds, which was the ring sounds and stuff. But as it went on, you could tell that it's not just a typical kind of Sonic thing. You get different masks for your character and you get different abilities. So yes, a lot of other platform games have done this before, but it seems to be offering something a little bit different. I wouldn't say it's offering anything new. Foxy agrees with me. Yeah, with the ear twisting around the things, there was the bit like tails coming down, floating down. There's bits that look like Rayman and lots of other games. Dave, what were your thoughts with this when you saw the trailer for this?
Well, it looks like it's borrowed plenty from all the classic platforms we enjoy, so it'll scratch that retro itch. Just got to hope it's got good controls, because that's what these platforms live or die on, really, how good the controls are for the character. So from what we saw in the trailer, it looked quite cool. I'd give that a go. And also just for the trailer, good for anyone in the family.
Yeah.
Even the dad got involved.
Even the dad got involved. Not sure he was their dad. He just randomly walked into the room. He could have been someone else's dad. He might have been the next door neighbor. We don't know. We're not going to question that. We didn't do the marketing, folks. We only play the trailers. But yeah, bit random. But there you go. But yeah, I think it's very much geared as a family game. What do we reckon in the chat? Give us your scores. Dave, do we think this got good scores? Or is it just ripping off every other platformer that ever existed and basically sucks donkey's ass.
It doesn't matter too much if it rips off older games, as long as it takes that stuff and does it well. So I thought it looked good in the trailer. I'll guess another 8 for this. Okay.
What do we reckon in the chat? If anyone going to have any guesses, what we reckon this got out of 10? I kind of like. I would give this a go. Lady Red says 10 out of 10 for the bunny. I'm going to tell you. Says 4. Foxy also says 10 out of 10 for the bunny. It got, ladies and gentlemen, drum roll, silent drum roll. It got a solid 8 out of 10. Yes, it does copy things from other games, but as Dave said, it does it well. And again, I get the feeling Dave can somehow see my notes. I don't know how he sees my notes on everything, but he's getting these games.
Noticed that the little camera that's up in the corner?
Probably not.
Just appeared from nowhere.
Oh, there you go. So there you go. Yeah, 8 out of 10. Definitely worth getting. That is out on pretty much every single platform you can get, including Stadia, but no one cares. That came out last Friday. That is Kaze and the Wild Masks. So let's talk about some other news before we move on to another ton of games, because we've still got, how many more games we've got to talk about? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more games to talk about. So we've got a couple of news stories. An interesting one. A couple of films were announced recently. We always get films that are based on computer games. Now, one of this isn't really new news, but we've got a little bit more information on it. And one is new news. And we'll start with the new news one, is that apparently the director of the John Wick films is putting together a film version of Ghost of Tsushima, which was a game that came out on PlayStation last year. Is that correct, Dave?
Yeah, that's right.
Which is obviously a samurai-based game for anyone who's not familiar with it. There's not much information on if they've cast it or written scripts or what. They've basically just announced that the guy that has done the last 3 John Wick films, he co-directed, I believe, the first film, but then went on to direct the second and third John Wick film. He is heading that up. I don't know a lot about that game because obviously it was a PlayStation exclusive, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
I'm thinking. So, have you've played that? I'm right in thinking. I know.
I haven't played this one. It's on my list to get at some point.
Right.
So it's another open world game. I was already playing plenty of open world stuff at the time, so I thought I'll leave it, get it on the PS5 when it goes a bit cheaper in a sale. It's had a nice patch as well for the PS5, so runs a nice 4K 60, nice and smooth. But it's meant to be a very good open world game. Have good combat to it. It's got fairly realistic type combat. You can kill enemies in a couple of moves. As to whether it will make a good film, as you know, we've seen so many video game adaptations that haven't been very good. So they don't.
Yeah, it depends. If it's going to be a samurai film, there are some samurai films that are fantastic, and there's also some samurai films that are awful. We will have to see. We don't know much. As soon as we know more, maybe when we get a trailer, we will play it on this show. But that's all we know about that. However, we do have some news. Now, we never reported about this. It never really came in my kind of eye line. But we'd heard rumours for quite a while that there is going to be a Borderlands film. And if rumours are to be believed, and this is the only thing, say, yay, Borderlands film. That sounds amazing. My only concern is they announced before Christmas that Kevin Hart is going to be in it. Now, most films, this is my opinion and my opinion only, most films that I have seen with Kevin Hart in, I don't think are very good. However, the Jumanji films that were based on, obviously based around the fact that it's a video game, I thought he was excellent in. So possibly, I don't know which character he's going to play, but he could be quite good in this. However, the new news that has come out is the person that is directing it. And basically, I believe, writing the script as well. And that is Eli Roth, famed for being in Inglourious Bastards. Obviously doing, the Hostel films. And most recently, not so successful, but I still thought was an okay film. He redid Death Wish with Bruce Willis about 2 years ago. So Eli Roth is good at action and horror. I don't think he's ever tackled sci-fi films before, but he's very capable director and writer. Do we think we could get the first ever game that will be the best video game ever with Eli Roth behind the helm for Borderlands?
I suppose it depends what they're trying to do with the film, doesn't it? I suppose with the Borderlands, you've now got 3 games with lots of story in them. How do you condense that down to a 2-hour movie and keep it good and keep everything in there that the fans like? I mean, it's going to have to include stupid numbers of just crazy guns, isn't it?
Yeah,
you're going to have to keep that in there.
There was rumours as well that Claptrap, who was playing Claptrap, but I've seen different things. This is why I don't really want to say who it is. There was a rumor. Well, I'm going to kind of say I saw one rumor on Twitter that Jack Black was going to be the voice of our beloved. Where is it? I've got a model. I can't reach him. He's up there. Our beloved Claptrap. I could see that working, but then obviously when you've got Kevin Hart and then you got Jack Black, are they just remaking Jumanji again? Are we going to get Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Karen Gillan in it as well? I don't know. It seems a bit odd, but those were just rumours. I don't know. I think it's the fact there's a lot of content out there. It's how you can condense it down. And I think this is where a lot of computer game films struggle because they try and do too much without actually focusing on any one thing. So, I don't know. Borderlands film. Keep our fingers crossed. Keep our fingers crossed. So let's move on to some more games. Another game. This came out last year on Xbox. Has been given the Xbox Series S and X treatment literally about 8 months later. This came out last Thursday. This is not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but this is Hunting Simulator 2. Here we go with the trailer. Let us know your thoughts on this game in the chat, and we will play the trailer, and we'll be right back with you very shortly. Here we go. So there you go. That is Hunting Simulator 2. Foxy asked me the question saying, didn't you play this game? I played Hunter Call of the Wild, which is another game. It's like their main competitor. So this came out last year. It's been given the Series X treatment. As you saw, tons of different guns available. Not quite like Borderlands, obviously. They're going for more the authentic kind of rifles and arms. But the objective is to basically go around a wild area, hunt deer, buffalo, pheasants, whatever you can get, and basically catch them. That is the gist of the hunting game, really. I'll be honest, I played Hunter Call of the Wild. Probably won't play it again. I did a 2-hour stream. That was enough for me. Didn't think much of it. I think this one isn't so much a simulator, even though it's called Hunting Simulator. They did say it deals with more of the track it down, hunt it, kill it. Whereas the other one I played was hunt it down, track it, kill it, deal with the remains, make stuff out of the remains, sell the remains, which not a lot of people want to deal with. But they said that cuts out the back end of this. Foxy wants, I want more of that, more Mag trying to hunt down animals. maybe we might play it again. I wasn't a massive fan of it. It was all right for when I did it, but it's not something I would do. So the question is this better than its predecessor? Have you played any of these hunting games? Does it appeal to you? Because to me, the only people this would appeal to is people that actually go out hunting.
Yeah, I'd say so. It depends what you think of hunting. It's whether you bother with this game. But I suppose one thing to think about, even if you don't like, the proper sort of hunting that you do with this, the amount of games we've played, we've hunted down animals and skinned them to make stuff. Like I think I was doing it in Red Dead Redemption, I was doing it in the Far Cry games, and you doing it in that. So it's stuff like Legend of Zelda as well. I was hunting down animals in there to use to cook stuff. So whilst this doesn't appeal to me, because I don't really like, the idea of normal hunting, I have done plenty of that sort of stuff in other games where it just feels a bit different. Yeah.
There's so many games, you're right, that you end up skinning animals or taking bits of them to make other stuff out of. Foxy said it was fun watching you scare away everything you found. I know I kept making noise and everything ran away. I was also a terrible shot. I did end up killing some stuff when I did play the game, but I was crap at it. Maybe that's why you want to watch me do it, because I was awful at it. That's probably why. What do we reckon this got then? As I say, this game is only about 8 months old anyway. What sort of scores do you reckon this got?
I'm going to guess 7 for it, maybe. It looks okay graphics wise. I couldn't really tell enough of the mechanics of it in the trailer, but maybe it's okay.
Okay. Foxy also says a 7, and also reminded me that I missed a rabbit that was a meter away from me. Yes, I remember that. I lined up the shot perfectly. It was just there, and still somehow managed to miss it.
Use grenades next time.
Yeah, I just grenade. Yeah, do a Crocodile Dundee. Go fishing and just stick dynamite in the lake. That'll
That's
sort
the
it.
way to do it.
That's the way to do it completely. Well, I can tell you straight away, 7 out of 10. Does get a little bit of graphical improvement on the version came out last year, but not much, and it's still pretty much the same game. If you like that sort of thing, it's there for you to try out. So there you go. That came out for Xbox Series S and X. Throw a croc on the Barbie. Yeah, why not? And that came out last Thursday. Now some games that came to Xbox Game Pass for PC. It came free, but it also came out. Well, this was out on. This has also come out on Nintendo Switch. Sorry, so it's out on Xbox Game Pass. Came out last Friday on PC and Xbox, but also you can get it on Switch. Unfortunately, you have to pay for that version. This is a game called Genesis Noir. Let's check out the trailer. I know that Moonlight, who is a member of this channel, literally downloaded this, I think, a day or two ago, but I don't think she's here tonight. Otherwise, we'd ask her what her opinion is on the game. But let's have a look at the trailer and we'll see what we think. There you go, folks. That is Genesis Noir. Like any detective story, there's love and betrayal. That's pretty much any type of game. I think this looks really funky. It's taking a typical kind of detective whodunit thriller game, but mixing it up with a very what I would call basic, but I don't mean that in a derogatory way, basic art style. What do you think, Dave? Of this?
I thought it looked delightfully hard. I like the art style it's using as well. So I was getting sort of point and click vibes for certain bits of it as well, and sort of interacting with some of the objects in there. So I think it looks like quite a cool game. I'd be interested to play it, especially since it's on Game Pass, as you mentioned, just to see what it's actually like.
Yeah. It basically, some of the puzzles and stuff look really inventive. Like I had the little one with the jazz notes and stuff. You had to pick the notes and get the person to play it. Even the thing where to find out what things you have to pull off the flower in the correct order, you have to get the pattern in the flower first, and then you figure out which way you're going round. So there's all these little unique puzzles in it. As I say, it's anyone who's got it on PC and Xbox that's got Game Pass Ultimate or Game Pass, you literally can play that for free from Friday, but it's also out on the Nintendo Switch. What do we reckon the score's got? Foxy's going for a 7.5, maybe an 8. What do you reckon, Dave?
I thought it looked delightfully hard. I'm going to give it an 8.
Okay. Anybody else in the chat want to have a guess? While I just have a quick sip of my tea in my middle-aged gamer guy mug. Get it from the store now. Plug.
Shameless plug.
Oh. Hello, Chris. How you doing? Good to see you. Chris is going to give it an 8.5. I can tell you now, this is our third game this evening to get a whopping 9 out of 10.
Cool.
So if you like the look of that, go get it, especially because you can get it on Game Pass. So if you're lucky enough to be on PC and Xbox, go get it. Go give it a try. There is a good chance that I will stream it on this channel and give it a whirl at some point. I don't know when, because I've got loads to. I've got a very long list of games that I've got to get through on this channel yet. But there you go. So that is Genesis Noir. Now, another game that's come to Xbox Game Pass, which literally came out on Thursday, but has been out on Nintendo Switch for probably about 4 years now, in all honesty, is a game called Octopath Traveler. This is a very beloved game on the Switch community, and it's finally made its way onto Xbox, not PC just yet, but I'm sure it will do. Have a look at this. It's an RPG with a bit of a difference. We'll play the trailer. Let us know what you think. And we will see you with Octopath Traveler. Here we go.
Journey begins.
A world of knowledge awaits.
This should be fun. Cool off.
Come then, if this be your will.
This world is full of mysteries.
Where's the nearest tavern?
Come and fight for me.
My blade protects those in need. I'm ready. Are you?
Now to seal the deal!
That's what I'm talking about.
Let's end this, shall we?
This is our chance.
Octopath Traveler.
There you go. Now, it does say is actually coming to PC as well. But I believe the version that literally came out last week is for the Xbox. So what's unique about this? It is a 2D game, pixel art. However, done in a way it looks flat with like bits of paper models, which then makes it look 3D. So the art style is very unique. I think you can place anywhere up to 50 to 60 hours on one of the characters. And and it said there's 8 different character quests there. So you could sink a lot of time into this. And I think this is why this was such a big smash on the Switch. Moto Chris, yeah, think of Paper Mario. That's kind of it. Foxy says, oh, pixel art. A retro vibe, many characters, beautiful scene, RPG. The combat looked quite interesting. Yeah, turn-based combat again. All sort of cool sort of stuff. Dave, are you familiar with this game? And would this be something you would give a whirl?
I remember reading about it when it came out on the Switch. What was it, last year at some point? It looked like quite a cool, interesting game. Nice art style, as you mentioned, which does make it stand out. Not when I was planning to play myself, just because the amount of time it sounds like it would take to play all of it. I mean, if it's 50, 60 hours just for one character and there's 8 to get through, I'd probably only ever get through the 1 if I was going to give it a go. But, you know, it's possible on Game Pass. Might be worth a quick look anyway.
Yeah. I say, it's on Game Pass. It's free. It is coming to PC soon, but we don't know when. But yeah, I think it came out on Switch 4 years ago. What do we reckon this got out of 10? Let us know. Hello, Mia. Welcome back. Glad you're back. Chris is saying an 8. Dave, what do you reckon?
I'll guess a 9 because I know it was very well spoken of when it came out on the Switch.
Foxy's going for an 8.5. Any other guesses in the chat? So we've got an 8, an 8.5. Dave's going for a 9. I'll see if anyone else wants to throw in a guess before we move on. And I can tell you, Dave is absolutely slaying it again. If he guessed correctly.
Good at guessing.
A 9 out of 10. And this is our 4th game tonight that's got a 9 out of 10.
That's a good week.
It's a very good week, considering we have some weeks where we can't get out of the 6s and 7s. So Octopath Traveler on Xbox. And if you've got Game Pass, it's free. It came out Thursday last week. Go give it a try. Right, more news. And this one really grates with me now. Right, so we talked about the Cyberpunk patch, which should have come out in February, which they announced the other week, and we talked about it on this show, stating what they were going to do in this patch, but there was no release date. And it suddenly appeared yesterday, a 40 gigabyte patch. And in the release notes, there is tons of stuff that it says it has fixed in the game. I'm going to be totally biased with this now. If other people have had other experiences, I would like to know. But I'm going to say that 40 gigabyte update did absolutely fuck all to the game. I'm going to be really blunt about this. They made a big statement about the fact they were sorting out the cops situation, because the cops situation didn't work. Anyone wants to go back and watch my stream from last night, apart from adding the little robots that come in, it's still shit as ever. The driving is still not great. They have improved the map so you can see the turns a little bit quicker. But if anything, the driving feels a little bit more clunkier. The fact that, as Chris brought up there, how's the traffic? The traffic still gets stuck just by one random thing. This is just absolutely shocking. The other thing is they said about the fact that the vehicles you always would see in the distance that then disappeared would no longer disappear. You would drive towards them and they will get closer. No, they don't. You fucked that up as well. You didn't even get that right. And there was loads of other horrible bugs. They may have fixed some other bugs. I get that. But I had a dialogue box that was stuck on the screen after I finished the conversation for 20 minutes. I've never had that bug before. So either that's new or it's something that's been in the game for ages, but I've only just got it. And I still get the problem that I might be randomly walking down the road or doing something and I just die for no reason. This time I was told to climb over a wall to get into a house. So I climbed over the wall, which then immediately flung me into the air. And I've clipped this. So go onto my channel and watch the clips. I think a couple of people clipped it. Flung me into the air so high that when I landed on the ground, I died. Fuck you, CD Projekt Red. I'm saying it now. Fuck you. Sort your fucking updates out, because you promised a lot with this and you did not deliver. Yet again, you are consistently fucking this up. So get your shit sorted. If you're just doing minor things, just say you're doing that. Don't promise on shit that you clearly can't do. I think there's going to be a lot of fallout from this in the next 24 hours. And the update only kind of landed about 5 or 6 o'clock UK time yesterday. So I played it 3 hours after, and it's still fucking shit. Sort it out. If anyone else is playing this and they've got a difference of opinion, that's absolutely cool. I would love to hear that. I would like to hear some stories where people have played this and it has improved the game. But from what I can see and what I've seen online, it has not. If you're going to get your next update out, you're already a month behind. Get it out next month, or don't fucking bother at all. You might as well just can the game, people, because it's shit at the moment. I love the game, but at the same time, I hate it equally. Dave, I know you watched my stream last night, so you immediately know the shit I've had to put.
Oh, yeah. One of my favourite bits was that nightclub that just wouldn't open for you. Constantly closed. How far you kept skipping forward. And you finally got in, and it was empty. No one was in there. There's still plenty of bugs in there. The police system as well. Yeah, it's better that they don't spawn immediately behind you, because I had them do that when I was like in an apartment in a room with no doors or windows behind me, and a cop disappeared. That was just terrible. So it's better, but it's still crap when you compare it to something like GTA 5, which is God knows how many years old now. And that police system is just brilliant, fun. You know, the police coming in, you'd expect in their cars, and they'll chase you. You don't even get them in the cars in this, do you? They just come running in, tired, out of breath.
Yeah, I had to run over about 7 people before the police were alerted. Now, in GTA 5, you hit 1 or 2, you're in the shit. The police are. It only took me 2 seconds to escape from the police after running them over by just carrying on.
It's not a good system. I mean, this is a futuristic city. They should be coming in their flying cars or guns blazing.
Yeah. Now, when I shot people and stayed where I was, it took more than 30 seconds for the police to be alerted. These drones turned up, shot at me. Granted, they nearly killed me, but I managed to hide round the side of a box and they didn't follow me. So I could just shoot them from behind the box and destroy them. There was a couple of cops shooting at me, but they were miles away. And then after a while, after I killed the robots, it only took a matter of seconds before the police alert was lifted. It's shit.
No, it's still got a long way to go. I think the problem is it came out with so many problems. They're still working towards a stable baseline, aren't they?
Yeah.
And they've got to get to that before they can even start improving some of these things.
I think some of the most hilarious things with this was one of the biggest things that they've been criticised about was apparently there's the toll road bit where it says, "Welcome to Nice City." They spelt the name of the city of their own game wrong, but they fixed it. But they fixed 150 minor things. But the 3 or 4 main things that they did this big elaborate thing of not saying this is what we fixed. They did it like a newscast story and a futuristic. No, nobody gave a shit about that. They didn't fix any of that. They've not fixed any of it. It's false promises again. It's bad. I'm not happy. I would love if there's anyone else that's playing it. As I say, please do. If you think I'm wrong on this, I'm quite happy to have a chat with you about it. I'd love to hear that you're playing it on PlayStation and it's better, because we know the PlayStation version is technically the worst. If you're playing it on PC, which is apparently the best version, you might not notice any difference, but does it run better? Please do tell us. I would like to hear from you. I'm going to stop my rant with that, but you can tell I'm not happy. Just game developers, as we said before, The Witcher, they fixed that game in 6 months. You've got 2 months left, CD Projekt Red. You got 2 months. I don't think they're going to pull it off. I'll be honest.
No, I think it's going to take them a lot longer. I think just launched with more problems than The Witcher did.
Yeah.
Way more.
Yeah. It's a shame. It's a shame. But sort your shit out, CD Projekt Red. I'm tired of the excuses now. I don't give a fuck what you say. Just get the game fixed. Moving on, folks. Happy time again. Let's move on with some more games. We've got another one, a game. This came out today as well. This is a 2D side-scrolling action and a bit of a mystery game. It's free on Xbox and PC on Game Pass as of today, but it's also come out for PlayStation and Nintendo Switch. This is the 2D action-adventure game Narita Boy. And we're going to play the trailer. Let us know what you think in the comments. Here we go. eventually if it loads. Here we go.
Rated T for teen.
There you go. That is Narita Boy, which literally came out today. As I say, it's free on PC and Xbox if you've got Game Pass, but it's also on PlayStation and Switch. 2D side-scrolling hack 'em up, but also has a bit of a mystery adventure side to it. Dave, your thoughts on that one?
I thought it looked like a really cool trailer. Actually, I quite fancied the look of that game. I just had a quick look on at it on Steam as well. I can see some people describing it as a bit of a Metroidvania.
Okay.
So it sounds like it's got a bit more to it than just standard side-scroll hack and slash. Yeah, I guess you're about to go back to the levels, open up new areas when you got any extra skills. So that'll give it a bit of longevity. I think I'll give that a go. You say that's on Game Pass.
It is. It's out
that downloading.
Literally today
Very cool.
Came out. I'll tell you a few things about it. Let us know in the chat what score you think this got out of 10. They've said the adventure bit, the story bit of it is really well done. As you see, you walk up to these funny little TVs and you uncover the mystery of what's happening. It has got a Metroid style feel to it. You do go back to places. However, they said there is quite a few limited locations, so you find that you are retreading ground a lot. It does say in the trailer that you get lots of different new powers. They pretty much did say once you've unlocked the 3 main kind of attacks, there's not much else that you get. You do unlock other skills, but it's nothing to do with the attacks or the weapons. So it is quite limited. So what do we think that got out of 10 for that game? Chris says a 7.5.
I think I'll guess an 8 for that. I thought it looked pretty cool.
Okay, Dave's going for 8. Have we got anybody else who wants to have a guess on the scores for Narita Boy? Foxy says, not my kind of game, but I'll go for a 7. Okay, I can tell you it got a 6 out of 10.
Only a 6?
Right.
That's disappointing. That looked very good.
Moto Chris, Luke Skywalker says 9. Now, the reason being is it says for everything it does really well, there is something that's quite annoying. Now, you may have seen there's some quite unique things. There's a bit where you turn into a floppy disk and go bouncing over a lake and jump. They said that's a really cool idea. There's even a bit where you get in a giant mech suit and destroy it. But there is one section of the game that you may have seen where you get on like a horse thing. And think of the worst Flappy Bird game ever. And
yeah.
If you can't get through that level, you won't go any further. And so many people said it's so rage quit inducing that they don't carry on with the game. And because of that one level, it has wrecked the enjoyment of what generally is a good game. They've also said, compared to other bits, the bosses are not that difficult to kill. The bosses actually are quite downplayed. So because of that, it gets knocked down quite heavily and gets a 6 out of 10. But I do say if you get to the bit with the horse riding bit, you may find it as infuriating as the original Battletoads driving bits. And if you ever played that, you will know that is virtually impossible to play.
It was making me think of the original Mafia game. I think the 5th level in that was a race, and you had to converge that race, and it was absolute bastard.
Yes.
They ended up putting a patch in just to allow you to skip it, and I think I skipped it because it was just awful. You just couldn't do it.
There's not many people that actually managed to complete that race, I believe. So,
it was ridiculous.
There you go. So there you go. Narita Boy out today, 6 out of 10. 2 more games to go. We've played lots of games where you're trying to get your own back or trying to escape from Nazis. We've seen it before. Lots of action games like Wolfenstein. However, this is a bit of a twist because it's not an action game. It is a mystery game where you are in a World War bunker and trying to escape. This is out. This actually came out last Wednesday. This is out on PC, Xbox, and Xbox One and PlayStation 4. It's not on the new gen. I have to say that. This is a game called Paradise Lost. Let's check out the trailer and then let us know what you think in the comments.
Rated teen.
I figured I would entertain you with some facts about this place. This place is made of salt. I mean, the cave. That might have been the only fact I know about this place. So I will help you. But you need to promise to help me too, okay? Okay. So I just need you to find the control room and get me out.
There's no way to keep going.
There should be a pipe there.
You expect me to jump? Is that really the only way down?
I'm afraid so. You trusted me once. I just need you to trust me again. Can we talk about what just happened?
I don't think I want to. Let's just focus on our goal. The control room should be close.
I think there's a working camera in here. I'd love to see how the German elites lived.
I can try cleaning it.
It works. Wow. What big eyes you have. Now you should say,
oh, the better to see you with.
I'm glad I found you.
Oh, I'm glad you found me too.
There you go. That is Paradise Lost. And that is out for, as I say, PC, Xbox One and PS4, which came out last Wednesday. It's a thriller where you have to rifle through clues and try and find things out to basically find out what happened and also to try and escape the Nazi bunker. Games that might be similar to, if you like, games like What Remains of Edith Finch, where you play different bits and read different bits of materials to find out and piece the puzzle together. That's the kind of game it is. Does this look interesting to you, Dave?
It does look interesting. From what I've seen of it, I think it would be quite cool if it was actually in VR. You'd be able to explore that bunker properly. And it's the way some of the interactions are described, like you got to rifle through drawers and cabinets and you know, push the odd button here and there. It looks like it'd be the perfect sort of VR sort of game.
Yeah.
So if it came out on there, I'd probably be a bit more interested in it than in its current guise. I mean, it sounds okay. I believe there's no combat to it. It's just pretty much a walking simulator solving puzzles. Yeah. So it could be okay, but I think I'd rather play that sort of thing in VR. Sort of thing that looks like it would just be perfectly suited to it.
Yeah. I mean, Chris said they didn't have CCTV in World War II. Well, then you might find out there might be a twist in the story that there is.
Mm-hmm.
This might be an alternate reality, a bit like the Wolfenstein games. We don't know. But yeah, that's obviously something that's there. So something's not quite right. What do we reckon this got? Have a drop some numbers in the chat for us. Dave, what do you reckon?
I'll go for 7 for this one.
Okay. Chris is going for a 6. Anybody else want to have a stab before I kind of say what they said about it? Okay, I'm going to say. So I heard a great analogy in one review that I read that basically said it's like one of those giant bags of Doritos. Oh, Foxy's going with the same score as you, Dave. Did you say 7, did you?
I did.
It's 7, right. So it's like a giant bag of Doritos. The game looks absolutely huge. But when you open up that bag of Doritos, you find it's only about a quarter full. So basically what they're saying is there's not much content there. It's big open world, but you can't interact with a lot of stuff, which is a little bit worrying. So, ladies and gents, it got, and I think Dave is right, maybe it should be a better VR game. It got a 5 out of 10.
Oh, definitely needs some work then.
Yeah, definitely needed some work. It got a 5 out of 10. That came out last Wednesday. It's out on PC, Xbox, and PS4, and is not on Game Pass. I can say that now. Right, our final game tonight. We may just about finish the show. I think we're going to be about 5 minutes or 10 minutes late. Let's see how we do. Our next game, we talked about a Monster Truck game a couple of weeks ago. This is something very, very different, and I say looks quite a lot of fun. This is a game. Now, this one, again, we didn't get the reviews till quite late. So this actually came out 2 Fridays ago. But we only got the reviews literally in the last couple of days. But this is called Can't Drive This. It's been out for quite a while on other platforms, but it's actually got an Xbox Series X and One, PS4, 5, PC, and Switch release, which says to me that it probably was out on Stadia first, weirdly. So we shall have to see. Let's have a look at the trailer and we'll discuss the game. But I think this could be a lot of fun. This is the trailer for the Nintendo Switch version. Here we go.
Rated E for everyone.
There you go. That is Can't Drive This. I think this looks a lot of fun. So, yes, you do need friends to play. You can play this game solo, but as a lot of the reviewers said, it's not much fun. It gets quite boring solo because you can do a thing where you lay the track and then race. The object of the game is ideally for 2 or more people. 1 races and 1 builds a track. And that's the idea, to get to a point. But you randomly throw pieces. So think like Tetris. You don't know what you're going to get. You might get a normal road piece. You might get something with mud that will slow you down. You might get a big chopping hammer. If you get knocked off the path, you lose. That's the ultimate goal. I think this sounds quite cool. There's loads of customizations with the cars. You can put funny bowler hats on things, a bit like what we've seen in Rocket League. Foxy says, I can't play this then. You need friends. Oh dear. But yeah, I think this could be quite good fun. Dave, what are your thoughts on this? Quite a unique idea of a game for a racing game.
I thought so. I thought it looked like a good idea as well. It's something different, multiplayer wise, isn't it? Someone's got to build a level for you. At least if they're getting random pieces, they can't be too much of a bastard to you. Because you can just imagine if they just had everything, they could just make some really annoying courses just to piss you off.
Yeah.
It sounds like a very good idea. But it definitely sounds like one to play with someone else. Not worth it single player wise. Yeah. It almost sounds like it could do with that sort of friend pass that It Takes Two game earlier.
Yeah.
Gives away.
Yeah. What do we reckon this got? I mean, Chris has just said there's going to be so many arguments with my son coming if we play this. I'm sure it is. Let us know what you think in the chat. What this got out of 10. This is the last game we're going to be talking about tonight before we move on to our last couple of things. Chris is giving it 8. Dave, what do you reckon this gets?
I'm going to go 8 as well.
Okay. Anybody else in the chat want to give us any scores? I can tell you that they did confirm. Lady Red is going for 7.5. I can confirm that they did say solo is not worth playing. Do not play this solo. You will get bored of it. Fox is going to follow Chris. He's going for 8 as well. They basically said either 2, 3, 4 player is great fun. The only problems they've got with the game is sometimes some of the traps speed you off really quickly. So you're actually, even if the person's laying the pieces at the correct speed, the car will shoot off way ahead of the piece. So it will end up crashing and blowing up. And sometimes it can get jammed between pieces. So the car is stuck. Now, if you don't move, the object is to keep moving. The truck should explode. But if it gets stuck between two pieces, the only way of continuing is restarting the level, which is a bit of a horrible bug. So because of that, ladies and gents, it gets a 7 out of 10. Perfectly decent game, but a few little bugs that just make it annoying. And the solo player version is not worth really bothering with. So there you go. So, gonna blast through the scores. There was 16 games. So, Yakuza 6, which came out. God, when did that come out? I've lost it. Last Thursday on Xbox and PC, got 8 out of 10. Balan Wonderworld came out last Thursday on all the PlayStations, all the Xboxes, PC, and Switch. Got 6 out of 10. It Takes Two on all the PlayStations, all the Xboxes, and PC. Came out last Thursday. Got 9 out of 10. Crash Bandiccot On the Run on your mobile phone came out last Thursday. 7 out of 10. Tont Hawks Pro Skater 1 and 2 for the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and Switch. Came out last Friday. Got a 9 out of 10. Spacebase Startopia for PS4, 5, all the Xboxes and PC was out last Friday. 6 out of 10. Evil Genius 2 out on PC today. 6 out of 10. Kingdom Hearts franchise came out on the PC today. We didn't get any review scores for that one. Overcooked All You Can Eat out on all the PlayStations, all the Xboxes, Switch and PC came out last Tuesday. 8 out of 10. Kaze and the Wild Masks, all the platforms, including Stadia, last Friday, got 8 out of 10. Hunting Simulator 2, the Xbox Series X version, came out last Thursday, 7 out of 10. Genesis Noir, this is hard work. PC, Xbox, and Switch, last Friday, got 9 out of 10. Octopath Traveler came out on Xbox and soon to be PC last Thursday, 9 out of 10. Narita Boy on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch came out today, 6 out of 10. Paradise Lost came out Wednesday last week on PC, Xbox, and Xbox One and PlayStation 4. It is not on the new consoles, 5 out of 10. And Can't Drive This, which came out 2 Fridays ago on Xbox One, PS4, 5, and Series X, PC, and Switch, 7 out of 10. Those are our 16 games for this week.
Phew.
And breathe. So, one more news story, and then we're going to play our last trailer. So, more Sony stuff. This isn't a big news story. We knew it was kind of happening. Sony have announced that they are closing the web versions. We've already seen that they're closing their video stores down, video content on the consoles. But they are closing down the web version bases of their stores for the PlayStation Vita, PS3, and PSP. So from July the 2nd, you will not be able to buy PS3 games or PSP games from their web browser. And from August the 22nd, you won't be able to get games for the Vita. You will still be, for the future, be able to get them on the online stores. But do you think this is just a sign that people are not really using the stores and that's why they're shutting them down, Dave?
Yeah, it's probably one of the factors. I mean, those systems are getting quite old now. People have moved on. Just like with the consoles, they do tend to get rid of the older systems, don't they?
Yeah.
So that'll be happening with these. There's probably not many people actually using them. You always seem to get a lot of people shouting up when this gets announced, but it doesn't mean people are suddenly going to go and start buying stuff. It's a shame in some ways because there's probably some games on those stores that are only available through them. You can't get a physical copy, so it could mean some games get lost, which is a shame.
Yeah,
you're kind of hoping there might be some way to preserve them somewhere.
That is the worry, that there will be games that could get lost unless you manage to hunt them down in a game fairs or anything. But I just think it is the sign of the times, unfortunately. I mean, Lady Red said PS2 and Kuda, PS2 was the best PS in their opinion. I love the PS2 as well. But yeah, not had a chance to get a PS4 or PS5 yet. Yeah, I think this is a sign of it. Hopefully there won't be games that get lost. But, we'll have to see. But it's just another line of thing that they're closing down because I just don't think that it's selling, unfortunately. So there you go.
That's it. People have moved on to the 4, onto the 5.
Yeah.
All those things are old now.
Yeah. The times be a-changing, as Bob Dylan once said. And I've probably paraphrased that completely wrong. So if there's any Bob Dylan fans, I'm very sorry. There you go. So we are coming to the end of the show, folks. Ladies and gents, thank you so much for being here. But before we close, as you know, we either finish with another news story or a trailer for something, whether it be a film or a game. Now, we put out a challenge 2 weeks ago. We actually got some of the community to contribute a news story for us. Now, one of those was when we talked about, which was given by Discord, was the fact that Keanu Reeves went and bought his own Johnny Silverhand. And this week, our guy that picked the news story was our very own Captain Chris. So I want to say thank you to Chris for this news story. What we're going to say is we are going to put in the Discord chat, if you want to contribute, you've seen a video that you think is funny, or if there's a film adaptation of a game you want to talk about, or just a general news story that you think is interesting that we won't cover, let us know about it, and you may be the featured person at the end of the show. This is something we're new doing. Basically, I spend a lot of time putting this show together, so if it's one less thing I have to do, it's better for me. But there you go. But so, thank you to Chris for this. It has been announced that a very much beloved franchise is coming back with a brand new game, but in the style of a SNES classic. I'm not going to say any more than that. Half this trailer is cartoon-based. Half this trailer is actually game footage. Sit back, enjoy, and relax. You can thank Moto Chris for this. This is a game that we assume is coming out this year. Let's check this out. Here we go.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, heroes in the hot shell. They are the world's most fearsome fighting king. Heroes in the hot shell and they're clean. When the evil Shredder attacks, these turtle boys don't cut them no slack. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Splinter taught them to be ninja teens. Leonardo's gonna tell a ghost machine. Raphael's cool but rude. Michelangelo's a party dude. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Heroes in the hot shell.
There you go, folks. That is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. And yes, very much like the arcade version or the much beloved SNES Turtles in Time. It looks exactly like that. We haven't got a release date for it. Big thank you to Moto Chris for digging out that clip for us. If you would like to contribute a clip or put it towards next week's show, drop us a line in the Discord. Let us know. And you could be the person whose clip is featured to close the show off. It's a much beloved thing. Foxy, you're right. I still owe you 2 questions. If you're going to be on the show tomorrow, when we're back with Sea of Thieves at the slightly later time of 9:30 tomorrow night. We're not on at 9. We've got to be on at 9:30. I will answer those questions tomorrow night for you. Coppo, thank you so much for the raid. Just raided us just as we're about to close the show, but I'll talk for about another minute or 2. Cheers, dude. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm just listening in while fixing your PC. Thank you to everyone who's been here. I think we've had a really good turnout for tonight's show. Thank you to M. Wonderly, who followed, Luca Laley, who followed, Coppo for the raid. We'll be back next week and with a guest on Tuesday night gaming chat. Thank you to my co-host, as always, Dave.
Always a pleasure, mate.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And we'll be back next week. If you missed any of the show, and there was a lot of content in today's show, it will be up on Twitch immediately after this show finishes, and it will be up on the YouTube channel in a couple of days, so you can always watch it on catch up. That leaves me to say thank you to everyone who's been in the chat, contributed, lurked, followed, or just generally chit-chatted with us. And we shall see you back next week for another Tuesday night gaming show. And as I say, we'll be back tomorrow night with more Sea of Thieves missions at 9:30. So that's all from me. Thank you very much and good night.